Hello everyone, welcome back to my video. In my previous video, I discussed about the various methods of issuing the shares, and I also started with the introductory part relating to allotment of shares. So in simple, just we will do the revision. Allotment of shares is nothing but distributing or giving the shares to the applicants. Now who is the applicant? He is a person who has applied for the shares in the company. So in simple, allotment of shares is nothing but distribution of shares among the applicants. And for distributing the shares, company has to issue a prospectus. Yes, that prospectus is nothing but an invitation which is given to the subscribers, and this prospectus is attached with one application form. The applicant who is interested to invest in the company has to fill the application form, and he has to submit it along with the application money to the company's bankers. Then the authority to approve the application is with the board of directors. So this we studied in your previous video. Yes, we also studied the companies which have to issue the shares in electronic form. So mainly there are three types of companies. They are a company making a public offer in excess of 10 crore rupees, and if there is any unlisted public company and any other company as subscribed by Companies Act, they have to issue their shares in dematerialized form. So dematerialized form is nothing but electronic form. Fine. So till here we studied. So in my previous video I gave you an idea. There are two types of conditions for the allotment of shares. Which are those two types of conditions? They are statutory conditions and general conditions. So today in my this video we shall study what all are there in statutory conditions and what all are there in general conditions. Okay. So, conditions for allotment of shares. Every company issuing the shares has to comply with the provisions of Companies Act 2013 with regard to allotment of shares. So, each and every company, it may be a private company or it may be a public company, it has to follow certain conditions as given by Companies Act 2013 whenever the company wants to allot the shares. And especially a public company has to follow the Companies Rules 2014 and SEBI Regulations 2018. So along with Companies Act 2013 provisions, a public company has also to follow certain conditions or provisions which are given by Companies Rules 2014 and SEBI Rules 2018. Okay. Now conditions are of two types: statutory conditions and general conditions. So for your exam purpose, the question may be like this: what do you mean by allotment of shares? Explain the conditions for allotment of shares. If they ask you complete question, that is explain conditions for allotment of shares, you have to explain the statutory conditions as well as the general conditions. Okay, so one by one we'll see what are statutory and general conditions. So first, coming to the statutory conditions, these are the conditions laid down by Companies Act 2013. So statutory conditions are those conditions which are compulsorily to be followed, or they are mandatory. These conditions are laid down or are given by Companies Act 2013. So total 8 statutory conditions are there which a company should compulsorily follow. One by one, first we'll see what are those 8 statutory conditions. First one is registration of prospectus. Second, application money. Third, minimum subscription. Fourth, closing of subscription list. Fifth, basis of allotment. Sixth, oversubscription. Seventh, permission to deal on stock exchange. And eighth, appointment of managers to the issue and various other agencies. Fine. These are the 8 statutory conditions. Now we'll see in detail what are those 8 statutory conditions. Fine. So first one is registration of prospectus. So as I told you, prospectus is nothing but invitation which a public company should give to the general public whenever it wants to offer the shares. Now what actually is done in this registration of prospectus? That is the first statutory condition. A copy of prospectus must be filed with the ROC for registration on or before the date of its publication. So before issuing the prospectus to the public, the first and foremost step which is to be taken by the company is a copy of prospectus must be registered with ROC. ROC stands for Registrar of Companies. So whatever the copy of prospectus is there, it is to be registered with the ROC before issuing or before giving the prospectus to the general public. Fine. It must be signed by every proposed director in case of newly formed company or director or his duly authorized advocate. Now, this prospectus is to be signed by a proposed director. Now, who is a proposed director? Suppose if there is a new company which is yet to be formed, in that condition, a director who is appointed for a newly established company, he is known as a proposed director, or you can say to be the director in the future. Fine. So this prospectus is to be signed by the proposed director or the director who is going to be the director in the future, or a normal director who is already a director in the company, or he is a duly authorized advocate. If there is advocate appointed for the company, you can also say as a legal advisor who is appointed for the company. So these persons must sign the prospectus, either a proposed director in case of newly established company, or a director or his duly authorized advocate. This is nothing but your registration of prospectus. Okay. Coming to second statutory condition, it is application money. So in my previous video, when I told you along with prospectus, one application form is to be attached by the company. Yes, and the person who is interested to apply for the shares in the company, he has to fill the application form, and along with the application form, he has to give that application money. So what actually is done in this application money? The Companies Act states that along with application form, the applicant has to pay a minimum of 5% of the nominal amount of the shares or such other amount as specified by SEBI. So whenever the application form is filled by the applicant, yes, minimum 5% of the nominal amount of shares is to be paid. For example, if total 10,000 amount he is investing in the form of shares, then you have to calculate 5% of 10,000. Whatever amount you will get, at least minimum that 5% is to be paid in the first stage. Fine. For public companies, SEBI has specified the application money to be minimum 25% of the nominal amount of shares. So if it is a public company, then whatever is the total amount of share, of that total amount of share, 25% amount is to be considered as application money. Fine. So if the total amount of share is 10,000, then 10,000 ka 25% will be 2,500. So that 2,500 is to be collected as application money. This is only in case of public company, that is 25%. Okay. And the third point is the application money is to be paid in the bank specified by the company. As I told you, every company will be having their specified bank. Means what? Where all the company banking transactions takes place. So in that particular bank only the application money is to be paid. Fine. So this is relating to application money. So now we'll go to the third condition. The third statutory condition is minimum subscription. Now, what do you mean by this minimum subscription? It is the minimum amount of shares that must be taken or bought by the subscribers mentioned in the prospectus. So whenever a company issues the shares or offers the shares to the public or to the investor, there will be certain limitation given that so much amount is to be collected as minimum subscription. So minimum subscription is nothing but the minimum amount which is to be collected from the subscribers in the first installment, you can say. Fine. So it is the minimum amount which is to be collected from the shareholder. It must be collected within 30 days from the issue of prospectus. So certain time period will be given. That time period is 30 days. Means what? If the prospectus is issued to the public on 1st of April, just an example I am telling you, if it is issued on 1st of April, what prospectus? Then from 1st of April, 30 days time is to be given for collecting the minimum subscription amount. Fine. SEBI has stated minimum subscription should be 90% of the issue. Now here SEBI has given certain condition that the minimum subscription must be always 90% of the issue. Means what? For example, if the total issue amount is rupees 1 lakh, okay, means total in 1 lakh rupees you are investing in certain company, then 90% of 1 lakh will be 90,000. So total 90,000 is to be collected by that shareholder as minimum subscription amount. This is the rule given by the SEBI. Fine. Coming to the third point, when a company does not collect minimum subscription, it means its issue has been undersubscribed. Now here two words you will get. One is undersubscription, another is oversubscription. Now undersubscription means when number of share applications are less but number of shares offered is more. That situation is called as undersubscription. Once again I will repeat, when shares applied is less than your shares offered, means for example, if company has offered 1000 shares, okay, but applications has only come for 900 shares. So here applications are less but offer is more. This situation is called as undersubscription. And opposite of undersubscription is oversubscription. That we'll see in my next point. Okay. So here undersubscription means, just remember, when share applications are less than the shares offered, it is called as undersubscription. Now, when a company does not collect the minimum subscription amount, then it is termed as the shares are undersubscribed. Fine. If minimum subscription is not collected within a specified time, I told you 30 days time is to be given for collecting the minimum subscription time. And if this minimum subscription amount is not collected within specified time of 30 days, then entire amount is to be returned back to that particular shareholder within 15 days of the closure of issue. Fine. Let me explain you once again. The total time given for minimum subscription or collecting the minimum subscription amount is 30 days. But if in 30 days, if the amount is not collected, then the company has to return back the money, whatever it has collected, or whatever application money it has collected from the shareholder, that is to be returned back. And that is to be returned back within 15 days. Fine. So if money is not collected within 30 days, application money is to be returned back. Fine. So this is relating to minimum subscription. Coming to the fourth statutory condition, that is closing of subscription list. As per SEBI, the subscription list is kept open for at least 3 working days and not more than 10 working days. Now this closing of subscription list means what? Certain period of time will be given for the applicants, like 3 days to 10 days. This is the time period given for application of shares. That is, within this time period, applicant has to apply for the shares, and that to 3 working days. At least 3 working days it will be open, and maximum it will be open for 10 working days. So within maximum 10 working days, the applicant has to apply for subscription or has to apply for the offer. Fine. Applicants can apply for the shares only when the subscription list is open. So only within 10 working days. 10 working days is the time period given for application. So within that period of time, the applicant has to apply for the shares. Fine. This is the fourth statutory conditions. Okay. Coming to the fifth one, that is basis of allotment. The base for allotment is decided for each category of subscribers. Now this base of allotment is nothing but the type of allotment. Means what? There are various category of subscribers. Some subscribers may be in a high position, like their financial condition is good. Some subscribers, their financial condition may be not good. Depending upon the category of subscribers, the base of allotment is decided. Allotment will be as per the minimum application size as fixed by the company. Depending upon the category of the subscribers, this base of allotment is decided. That is, which subscriber should be given how many number of shares. That will be decided depending upon the basis of allotment. Fine. Then coming to next sixth statutory condition, that is oversubscription. Just now I told you what do you mean by under subscription. When share applications are less and share offered is more, it is called as under subscription. And if share applications are more whereas share offered is less, it is called as oversubscription. For example, company has offered 1000 shares but applications you have received for 1500 shares. This situation is called as oversubscription. Offering is less whereas applications are more. So oversubscription means when application received for shares are more than the number of shares offered by the company. And SEBI does not permit for this oversubscription. I gave you example. Company has offered 1000 shares but applications have come for 1500 shares. If this is the situation, then SEBI will not allow for this oversubscription. Obviously, it will not allow. If shares offered are 1000 and applications have come for 1500, how you will give those 500 extra shares? It is not possible. It is quite not possible. So SEBI does not permit for the over subscription. However, it may permit to allot not more than 10% of the net offer. Means what? Now I told you 500 extra shares have been, applications have come. Now for that 500 extra applications, 10% SEBI allows to apply. Fine. So this is relating to oversubscription. Coming to the seventh statutory condition, it is permission to deal on stock exchange. Every company before making a public offer shall apply to one or more recognized stock exchanges to seek permission for listing its shares with them. So whenever company makes a public offer or whenever shares are offered by the company to the shareholders, the company has to list its shares on the stock exchange, and before listing the shares it has to take permission from the stock exchange, that is in which stock exchange it is going to list its shares. From that particular stock exchange permission is to be taken. This is compulsory. The prospectus shall mention the name of the stock exchange and the application for permission. In the prospectus, the name of the stock exchange is to be given. Like in Bombay Stock Exchange, the company's shares are listed. In National Stock Exchange, the company's shares are listed, etc. Like this, the name of the stock exchange is to be given, and along with application which is given for taking permission from the stock exchange should also be mentioned in the prospectus as evidence. Fine. So coming to the last statutory condition, that is appointment of managers to the issue and various other agencies. Company has to appoint one or more merchant bankers to act as managers to the public issue. As I told you, every company will have its bank where it can do all its banking transactions. So similarly, company has to appoint one or more merchant bankers to look after the offering of the shares. It has to appoint other agencies like bankers, brokers, advertising agents, registrars, etc. Apart from the bankers, the company should also appoint certain brokers, that is mediators, who act as a mediator between the public and between the company, as well as advertising agents are also required, and also registrars for all the registration processes. Fine. So these are the 8 statutory conditions which a company should follow, and these statutory conditions are laid down by the Companies Act 2013. These are to be compulsorily followed by the company while allotting the shares. Okay. So let's stop here. In my next video, I am going to explain you what are the general conditions which are to be followed by the company while allotting the shares. Fine. Thank you.